Well, there were, as you said, making a film about something that's already happened, especially something that hasn't been documented, is very challenging. And so we did two things. One is we knew we had great.
And what was like the biggest surprise when you were making this film?
Well, the biggest surprise, I would say, was actually when we finished the film and we wanted to show it to the people at the Islamic Center of Muncie. And because that was where we had to show it first, and make sure they liked it. And so we set up a screening, and it was in the basement where we did all the interviews, and about 80 people came. And when the film played, so this opportunity with to say.
I would also love to know about your personal reaction to the story when you were doing the interviews. How has the story inspired you personally?
Well, every time I watch this film, I still cry. I don't know why. I try not to, but there are certain parts that just make me cry. And I remember during the interviews, I was also crying. It's just a story that I think has the potential to change hearts and minds, and I've seen it happen. I've seen what happens after screenings and what people are sometimes. I don't know if this will happen tonight, but people in the community, they have a deep friendship that endures, and it's just a remarkable thing. And I think it just proves that we have this shared humanity that we can all tap into.
I mean, it's fascinating how it changed from a man deciding to erase a Muslim community to then now like celebrating small moments of joy together with them. It's the power of forgiveness, it's the power of kindness. So we see that all in front of our eyes, and it shows us about the power of these values that sometimes we take for granted, sometimes we forget about, sometimes we don't even realize the impact that it could make, and this documentary allows us to see that.
I also would add that it's the power of breaking bread together too. I mean, the first thing she thought when she heard that he was planning to kill them was, let's have a meal together. Let's talk this out, and talk about bravery. The other day I was at a mosque, and he goes, I know that story. And he's like, I heard it on a podcast by that guy. And I was like, yeah, right. So it's,
Dresses for the Oscars, so need to sort out mine.
We have to make sure we match.
Yeah, what color? Don't say black.
I'm going to wear black.
I knew it. So, sorry, I don't think we would agree on the dress. I'm going to go with something colorful. So I have my last question, and that is, what do you want people to take away from this film? And after that, we'll ask our audience for some questions.
I would say, we made this film to be shared and to be seen. And so it is actually on YouTube for free. And that was by design. So I think what I would say is I want people to share it, and share it with people they love, share it with people who they think need to see it. That's what it's there for. And I would say, any of you here who feels like this message is important to you, share it with people, post it on Facebook or whatever you go on to, and let spread the word, because we just want people to see the film and hear the message about understanding and compassion and grace, and to feel hope about our world.
Thank you.
I love the fact it was 30 minutes, first of all. That's great. But I guess in some ways you address patriotism, and we face it in a different, but actually the same way in Britain and across Europe. And patriotism seems such a dangerous factor in all our lives. And I wondered, how do you combat that in a sense? A film like this starts to address it, but it's often the elephant in the room that you cannot address in America or elsewhere.
That's a great question. I think that Mac's idea of patriotism was mixed up, and he didn't know that, but he was confused and he learned that. And to me, what this story shows, if we're going to talk about the United States, is, to me, what it shows is what America could be. And that this place in Muncie, Indiana, this little town in the middle of nowhere, that actually has a lot of diversity,